Hello students, today we are going to study about the completeness property of R. Completeness property of R has two subdivisions, say supremum property and infimum property. Only supremum property is stated in the text and infimum property can be derived from it. The completeness property has the subdivisions supremum property and infimum property. The supremum property states that for a very non-empty subset, of real numbers which has an upper bound has a supremum inner. That is, if S is non-empty and is a subset of R and having an upper bound, then S has a supremum. Every statement is like this: every non-empty subset of the real line that has an upper bound also has a supremum. Then what will be the infimum property? Every non-empty phi not equal to S subset of R having a lower bound, with a lower bound has an infimum. That will be the infimum property. The stated property, completeness property of R in the text is the supremum property, and there is a note given that we can do variations in supremum property to obtain the infimum property. Both are called the completeness properties of R. If we state about the supremum, it is called the supremum property, and if we state about the infimum, it is called the infimum property. Then how can we prove the supremum property? First we prove the supremum property. Given that S has an upper bound, say U. If U is the only upper bound, then the least upper bound is U itself. If U is the only upper bound of S, then we have to find the supremum. Then supremum equal to least upper bound equal to U itself. If it has more than one upper bounds, if S has more than one upper bounds, then we have to find the least upper bound. Then supremum is defined as the least upper bound. To find the least among these upper bounds, we have to compare the elements of R. That is, if U and V are upper bounds of S, then we have to compare these two elements. How can we compare? UV element of R, then UV element of R. Then what about minus V? Minus V is a negative of V. By the algebraic property, minus V element of R. Then U plus minus V or U minus V is a member of R. Then by trichotomy property, either of the three conditions holds. U minus V element of P, U minus V equal to 0, or minus of U minus V element of P. Element of P. If U minus V element of P, U minus V is strictly greater than 0. U is strictly greater than V. U minus V equal to 0 implies U equal to V. Minus of U minus V element of P implies V minus U. V minus U is greater than 0. That means V is greater than U. Anyway, we can compare either U equal to V or U greater than V or U less than V. From that, we can find the least upper bound. Implies we can find the least upper bound. If there are more than two elements, we can compare the elements using this trichotomy property and we can find least upper bound or supremum. If there is only one upper bound, then that will be the supremum, least upper bound. Only one upper bound, least among the upper bounds. If more than one upper bounds, we have to find the least among the upper bounds. So we have to compare the upper bounds. They are all members of the real line. Then if there are two, we know that U minus V is a member of R, and using trichotomy property for the real number U minus V, we get either U greater than V or U equal to V or V greater than U. Comparing, we get the least element. If there is one more U, V, W, then we have the list of U and V and compare with the W. Then we obtain list of U, V and W. Proceeding like this, we can find the least among the upper bounds and that will be the supremum. That is, if a non-empty subset of R, if a non-empty property stated like this, not in symbols, if a non-empty subset of R is having an upper bound, then that is also the supremum in R. And the other version is called the infimum property, and it is stated like this: if a non-empty subset of the real line that has a lower bound also has an infimum in R. These two together are called the completeness property of R. First one is the supremum property and the second one is the infimum property. And to prove the infimum property, if a set is bounded from below, then we can prove that the collection of the negatives is, to prove the infimum property, we have given that S is having a lower bound or it is bounded from below. We connect it with the supremum property. To connect it with the supremum property, we have to find a set having an upper bound. Here S has a lower bound or it is bounded below. If S is bounded below, that implies the collection minus S such that S element of S is bounded above. Then we can prove the collection of negatives of members of S is bounded above. And if it is bounded above, it has a supremum. Say S star be the supremum of this collection minus S such that S element of S. Then that implies S star is the supremum of minus S such that S element of S. Then minus of S star, supremum of collection of the negatives, equal to infimum of S, equal to infimum of S. In that logic, we prove the infimum property. And these two are given us. If S is bounded from below, then we have to prove that minus S such that S element of S is bounded from above. This is an exercise. And minus S star, minus of S star means the supremum of minus S such that S element of S, minus of supremum of this collection minus S such that S element of S equal to infimum of the set S. This is given as an exercise question, and completing that two proofs, we can prove the infimum property. You can see the infimum property later.